Here we go again. And I know I'm going to catch all kinds of hate stuff about this, but you know what? What we going on in St. Louis is more examples of black racism. See poor Mikey here? Look at little Mikey. Does anybody notice his jacket he's wearing? 1983? Or even if it was an 88. He wasn't even born then. Alright? This is just a picture they're using to portray innocence of him in a game arcade here. And this is what the media is putting forward again. Can anybody say Treyvon Martin? I was right about Treyvon Martin. You can look at my first videos about him. I was exactly right. He was a wannabe gangster. He got in trouble. I'm going to tell you what happened. And when the court date comes around, you can follow the court and everything. These two guys, let's go on. Yep, these two were walking down the street. Let's let me close that window out so I can get this here picture a little bit bigger, so we can see little Mikey again. And his buddy. Notice there's the buddy, the witness that was in the background, giving the stuff. Now this was taken sometime before, but you know how Facebook things are. What do we see here? We see a wannabe gangsta. He wants to be a gangster. I'm going to tell you what happened. These two guys had just got through knocking over or stealing some cigarettes at a convenience store. Notice how little Mikey is here. See how tiny he is? This guy is probably 6'6", 6'8", 300 pounds. He is not little Mikey. Let me see if I make this a little bit bigger here for the video. Yes. The feller's not big. So he just got through with this. So him and his friend here went bebopping down the middle of the street. You know, they're all full of themselves. They're how you say, they got their adrenaline going. They're giving each other high fives. When the patrol car pulls up and says, y'all need to get out of the middle of the street. Well, the car starts to drive away, and there's, you know, being that there's two of them together, you know, they egg each other on. Well, the F you and pig and everything else comes out. Well, that makes the cop mad. Cop stops, backs up, is getting ready to get out of the store, and little Mikey, all 300 pounds of him, slams the police officer's door shut, reaches in there, and decides he was going to beat the crap out of the cop. Well, you know, he has to show off for his friend. He has to show off for his buddy that's there with him. Well, the cop goes for his weapon. Mikey probably tries to grab the weapon too, and a shot goes off in the patrol car. Now, what you have to decide here, after a police officer is assaulted and his weapon attempted to be taken away from him, does he then have the right to get out of his car and fire a couple of more rounds into a fleeing subject that has just assaulted the police officer? So, do police officers have the right to use deadly force on perpetrators that have just assaulted a law enforcement officer, even though they're running away? You know what? I'm not no friend of police by any means, but I'm going to give this one to the police officer, because he is nothing but human too, and he had his adrenaline up and running And this little Mikey just tried to jump bad on him and came in a patrol car after him. And, well, little Mikey got a couple of .40 caliber slugs in his ass, and that should be the end of that. But no, we've got Al Sharpton and everybody else running in there and saying he was unarmed. Look at this guy in this photo here. Look at what he's doing to the store owner. Is he unarmed? If that guy came in my car while I was sitting stopped at a stop sign or something, I would blow his ass away. I don't care if he had a gun or not. I would have shot him. That would have been the end of that. And, of course, there'd be a big thing. Oh, look at the white guy shot the black guy. But, you know what? I wouldn't have been chasing him out of the car. He would have been nailed while his head was still in the car. However, a police officer, he's different. They're trained, to be authoritarians, and he went after the guy. But little Mikey was armed. Don't let the media say he was unarmed. He was armed. Look at his size. Look at his attitude. When somebody that big, I mean, if he can do that to that little store owner, and he was walking down the middle of the street with his friend, and they're egging each other on, they were armed. Hands and fists are arms. So don't let anybody fool you, and don't let the media say a police officer shot an unarmed black man. That is BS.